Welcome back to Comics Corner! If you're here for the first time, I urge you to go back and watch the rest of the reviews. This is episode 9's review. I enjoyed episode 9. A lot of people had gripes with it, but I thought it was a really fun episode. So let's get into it. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. There are spoilers here, so just get up out of here and go watch the episode or go watch the reviews. But let's get back into it. Bring it in. So, we open up the episode, and Sakura is pushing for some policies with Walter. Walter is helping her out, and I think it's interesting to see how happy she is, and we juxtapose it literally with Ash holding the gun at Sakura. You know, she's begging, you know, all that, but Ash said he just can't forgive her for pretending to be her brother, his brother, which makes sense, even though when you think about it, she didn't know about his brother, so she was pretending to be a brother in general, but not specifically his brother because she didn't know about him, right? That's what I'm thinking. But regardless, he shoot at her and then he walk off. He kind of leave her for dead, and then the weasel Kristoff just like, ha ha, got your back now, and he yank her back up by her harness that everybody thought was unnecessary, which I can be fair, it was a little crazy. But he basically said, I got some more test subjects. You about to use Geass on them, or I'm gonna get rid of them like garbage. But then he finally drops her from the restraints. So to everybody who thought it was crazy and unnecessary, he let her go. So they go in the room. You know what I'm saying? She walked back there herself. She stumbled back there, trying to figure out a way out of it. She walks back there with demands. I like the face she made when she walked back. She looked just like Lelouch right here. But anyway, she making the demands. She telling them, I'm gonna tell you, but you gotta let these folks go. And he starts killing them. Immediately, it's like she didn't learn from her from her last situation. But anyway, there's another guy that speaks out. It's like, don't worry about it, Princess Sakura. And then he killed him too. And she's like, okay. I'm sorry. I got you. I'm gonna do it. She gets ready to use Geass, and that's when Ash come in from the window and punch Kristoff onto the ground. She tries to use Geass on Kristoff, but the Kristoff man popped himself. He said, you thought I was gonna serve you forever? You got me bent. Right? Ash walks throughout the nightmare. Say he can't forgive her for all the stuff she did. But if Jugo Sumeragi says his daughter's kind, I choose to believe it. That's what he said. So he holds his hand out, and it feels like a forgiveness moment, but it's really off the strength of Jugo. I ain't gonna hold you. She says thank you, a little weepy. They get ready to leave, and on the way back to the camp, he say, hey, for the plan, we need Rose, so you're gonna have to keep playing this. Because you remember last episode, she said, I won't be Rose no more. Right, so I thought all of this was cool. I thought it was kind of dumb that Ash left her in the first place. But I guess they wanted to do it to make up for it and to give Ash that moment of taking out Kristoff, which I think would have been better if he did it in combat. But it's not my show, right? So they get back into camp, and as Rose, she's sitting there with Kuroto and the other guy. I'm sorry, I don't know the other guy's name. They're supposed to be making up a plan, because they just got devastated. And Rose can't think of nothing but the fact that all of this stuff was her fault. Well, his fault. And so when the guy asks, okay, what you think we should do? What's the next move? She talking about I don't even know what's a good move. Bro said, whoa. You'll see, y'all don't know New Jersey Twerk. I'm gonna see if I can get the clip. In New Jersey Twerk and Jazz, they had a little they had a skit before they battled, and he grabbed her by the you done done it now, bitch. That's how he was acting, that's how he felt. He was like, yo, you don't get to feel sorry for yourself. These people gave their lives so that you could be here right now. You know what I'm saying? So we don't blame you for getting kidnapped, but you got to bear the responsibility for these lives, which echoes the sentiment that the Lupin looking guy said to her in, I think his name's Oda, said to her in the second episode. So Kuroto breaks it up. She obviously needs a moment. The scene ends, and we go into a really quick scene where Nara is talking to Norland, and she's like, I want to do this. I got an idea. You got me? You gonna let me go? He said, go ahead. Norland is a sicko, so you should already know that he don't really care nothing about her. But I'm gonna just let y'all think about it for a second. Let that linger. I don't exactly know what Nara is planning to do, but the next scene is the Black Knights in a room talking about a peace treaty. So what I'm assuming is Nara, in an effort to save and stop the oncoming conflicts and like resolve all the foolishness, she wants to resolve it peacefully, right? But she obviously has Britannian biases because she feel like Britannians be getting stomped on or whatever. Guess who we get as a cameo for this scene? Gino! Gino is there, man. Gino talking about he used to serve under near Norland because they was both nice and around, but he don't know what he thinking. And Cornelia do some talking and saying that they got to win these peace treaties, which I think is fire. So the peace treaty talk kind of puts the Seven Shining Stars in a little panic, and the group themselves don't really know, like they can't attack regardless of the peace treaty. Obviously, because politically, if they do that, they become the enemies. You know what I mean? They become the enemies of peace, and nothing really gets resolved. Plus, peace is technically what they want, right? But they don't trust them. They think it's a scheme, which I would think is a scheme too. These people are crazy. So they asked Rose, "Hey, you got anything from your inside people yet?" You know, because she be using Geass on the folk. No, but I'm gonna figure it out. Nah, you're not gonna figure it out. But anyway. She excuses herself, and as she's leaving, she sees a lady crying over one of her dead relatives, and this prompts her to relive and rethink about all of the people who have died, sacrificed themselves, or given her some type of push throughout this series, and it renews the strength of her resolve, which I think is a necessary part of the episode, but I think it should have been somebody else saying, like, you remember when Colin said, play your role like you mean it to Lelouch? Like, keep fooling us till you no longer can. Play your role like you mean it. That I feel like she needed one of those. You know what I'm saying? After this moment, we go into the room. You know that weird guy that was like, I don't want Geass to rule everything. He's working on a nightmare frame with Norland. And they like, yeah, is it almost ready? Yeah, everything is going according to plan, right? And I don't know exactly what that means yet. But, I mean, I know now. But y'all don't know. We have no clue what that actually meant. But we going to see it in a second. So then... since everybody's separated, Rose and Ash in the cabin, and Ash like, God dang, oh man, Rose like, what's wrong, bro? What you got going on? He said, I ain't seen her since all this went down. Seen who? Raspberry. Oh man, she ain't been at the cafe, man. I wonder if she all right. And so now, obviously, this is the best time, apparently, for Rose to be like, I'm Raspberry. Raspberry is me. And Ash face turned blue. And he like, oh my God. But, I mean, I think it makes sense. Like, we knew y'all was going to be together. You better stop playing with us, man. We know what's going to happen. But anyway, after this, we get into a little bit more of a serious scene. Where the UFN is holding their peace talk with Nara. And Nara apparently has cooked them, because they come in talking about some ain't no Neo-Britannian policies, like anything that's positive towards y'all, we not going for it. Y'all need to step down. Y'all need to let go of the occupation here and all that. Y'all need to liberate these folks. But Nara's concern is for anti-Britannian sentiment, which I think is a cool concept, and I think it should have been fleshed out in this series. Like, they should have showed like little pockets of people really hating Britannians, because to me, I believe that people hate Britannians, but for most people, it's kind of like a glaring plot hole. But I digress. The UFN is getting cooked so bad, though, apparently, because I wish they would have showed like the debate and the level. You know what I mean? Because that's something that they did in Code Geass, where like they show the conversations and how cutting the other person is to show that they're losing this conversation. But they're losing so bad, apparently, that they need to enlist a different strategy. This is something that Cornelia does. So she gets up out her chair, and they show a real little clip of a person. And you can't really tell who it is. I thought it was Sakura as Sakuya at the moment. But I'm going to tell y'all who it is later, because it's another cameo! But let's do this, though. We need to talk about my favorite scene. So, Catherine and Sakura have an interesting relationship. Because, first, I want to preface this by saying, everybody has been saying Catherine is one-note character and she has no character. It means you haven't been paying attention enough to the character moments that she's exhibited throughout this series to show that she's more than just some ditzy female who's pretty and trying to show off her body. Like, she's more than that. And the little tidbits of character frustration, like the things that have frustrated her, should show you what it is that her character entails and who she is and what she needs to overcome. So obviously they've already had this argument where you shouldn't be acting like you got power when you don't. They had that argument. That was the first time we got a glimpse of who she is. So then today particularly, she was trying to ask her to go do something, like to go talk to a specific lady about a policy or something like that. And Catherine's like, I'm not doing that. Stop trying to increase my workload. She said, okay, you're not going to do it. That's fine. I'll go do it myself. And Catherine didn't like that because you're weak. Stop playing with me, right? And so she pulled a gun on her. And I was like, this is not that serious. Like, it's not. But you have to understand, like, whatever her and Sakura have been going through has been extended throughout these episodes. And so you see something like this coming. So Sakura says, is this what you call, like, is this the strength and the power that you really, like, be talking about? She said, yeah, I can force and bend anyone to my will whenever I choose. And she was like, that's not power for real. I've seen true power for real. And so she grabs the gun and she tells her, and the reason that this hit my brain immediately when I was watching the episode, I saw the flashback with her parents, and I said, her parents died because of this. And right after this, Catherine says, and so this already shows that there is a fear of weakness that is planted within her based on the circumstances of her parents. And obviously we don't know for sure that her parents died, but her parents shared the same sentiment as Sakura. And so that's what frustrated her so much, is that her parents shared this sentiment. They believed that everybody was equal and you should treat people the same regardless of whether they're strong or weak. And because they felt that way, they were powerless before someone stronger. Probably Norland, because he's a sicko. But this created the sentiment in her mind that power is the only thing necessary. If you are not strong, you die. So I completely understand. I think that her character arc is going to end in the next like 2 episodes because there's only 3 more episodes. Next, I told y'all there was a cameo, right? Cornelia sitting down with somebody. She said, we need help. Would you think of returning back to the UFN? Kaguya Sumeragi. When you hear her voice on the screen, you get kind of hyped. No, but that's just me. I had a field day. But this next part is the cameo king. You ready? So after that, we see these little things roll up on the beach somewhere, and we're like, what the freak is that? There's some sideways bay. It's bay wheels. You know what I mean? They are not bay wheels. They are monster evil robots. And they just start attacking folks in the city. They start by attacking this beautiful lady with a dog. And they just start attacking folks. They're all over the world, apparently. Probably not the world, but they named a lot of different places. But the first group of cameos we see are the Akito characters. Akito the Exile, stand up. So we got Layla, we got Akito, we got Ayano, we got Ryo, and we got Yukiya. Tripping. Yukika is crazy. And they spot the little robot. They on vacation chilling. They spot the little robots. And I just think it was dope to see them. Then we fast forward. None of it is Suzaku and Arthur. they doing something with some kids. The kid's trying to pet the cat, and then Zero turned his head, and we see that it is in fact Suzaku. And I was like, yeah, whatever's happening is happening worldwide. After that, we see the Oz of the reflection characters. So that was the first ones we see are Mary and Orpheus. They on a roof somewhere, and I was like, oh shoot, oh I know y'all. And then we see Sokia and Alderin in another area, and obviously they're all getting attacked by these robots. Everybody's getting attacked. You know what place is really getting attacked by the robots? The cafe, Natalia's cafe. They getting lit up, and I forgot the girl's name, but she called Rose. She's like, we getting destroyed by them. We need some help right now. And old dude got the rocket launcher. So when the robot busts in the window, he going boom, 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 boom. But then the phone disconnects, and that is where the episode ends. I don't know what Norland got planned, but it's up. He's crazy, and he's trying to kill everyone. But I think that they're doing this to try to recreate the idea of one man trying to take over the world, and then the world needing to reunite to create peace and take it from this one man. Because to me, it don't make sense for him to be doing all this. Like, he tripping. He like tripping. Like, come on, Norland. So I assume that's what him and Weird Guy was working on in the lab, is that. And I'm assuming that we'll see his nightmare frame within the next episode or two. We still don't know Norland's real aim, and I think that bothers me. But we should be finding it out very soon. Hopefully Catherine's character arc ends here. They need to do something with Haruka right now, because she has no purpose and she hasn't gotten any better. You know what I mean? And so her winning a fight against Catherine is going to piss me off if she does it. So they need to figure that out. I don't know how Sakura is going to get out of her situation, but it seems like she's enjoying it. And I wonder if her and Saki are just going to switch places at some point. I don't know how Kaguya is going to actually play into the narrative. I hope I get to see Gino fight. I hope I get to see Suzaku fight. And I hope Colin Kozuki comes back. That's what we need. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this episode. The Catherine thing is my favorite part, obviously. I think I talked at length about that more than anything. So hopefully you guys get that and you understood it. But yeah, don't let nobody tell y'all Catherine ain't got no character just because she's a fan service character for sure. She was actually, I think she's written pretty well. But that's all for this time. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you're enjoying the show. We out of here.